Hello and welcome to the Premier League review show with myself, Gav Mack, Stephen Cotton, Ed Hall, and Chris Collins from We Are Four Manx One Toffee. I'll come to you first, Chris. How are you, Monfrey?
Not too bad, lads. Thank you very much for having me on. I'd say it's a pleasure as always, but it's only actually the second time we've been on, so it feels like I've been on like 10,000 times.
It's still always.
Love you boys. We'll never turn down an invitation, not when I'm free anyway.
That's love. That's mad love there. Make sure you check out his stuff. And you see his Twitter handle going along the bottom. And I think if you put that into, if you actually put We Are Four in One Team to Google, your name comes up first.
Oh, do you know what?
I think it does. I think it does. But I know for sure, if you put two at the top of Google, our name does come up first. That is a guarantee. That's
a guarantee. That's a guarantee. Legally.
Ed, how are you feeling?
I've been better. Let's be honest. Okay. Go on.
I'll talk about you in a minute. Cotton, you're all right though, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Fine after that one.
It comes up first, lads. It comes up first.
Man, that's what it's all about, man.
So in case it's like match of day and people don't know the results and stuff this weekend, I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler, but also a little teaser. There's an odd thing out between all the clubs we support, and you'll find that out in a minute.
Okay. Right. As I like to say, and before every show, not that we have to remind people, but we have to remind people that there is no room for racism. We're seeing it going around on social all the time. Stop doing it. Educate yourselves. No room for racism. Not in this world whatsoever. Let's talk about the game that we've just seen, and we just did a live watch along for this game as well, if you weren't with us before, and that is Manchester United 3, Newcastle 1. We'll go to our guest first of all. Big result for this for Man United, Chris.
Do you know what? When Newcastle got the goal back, because of our form recently, I did wonder. I thought, is this going to be one of these games that just turns into an absolutely massive banana skin? But it's just default United over the past few seasons, isn't it? We play against a team who don't have the same amount of quality that we've got. They camp 11 men behind the ball, and we just struggle to break them down. We just don't seem to have any ideas whatsoever. The only time we ever seem to have an identity throughout the full 90 minutes is when we're playing a team who wants to go toe-to-toe with us. Sounds arrogant, that, because we've not been the greatest this season, United, despite being pretty much nailed on second in the league. But just struggling again. Bruno wasn't amazing, even though he got himself on the score sheet again and got another assist. That sounds absolutely crazy to say for how well he's been padding the stats for the past year and a half. Rashford again, just until his goal, and even after his goal, just doesn't seem to like shooting for some reason. Just seems to be a bit disjointed. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm pleased. It could have been a banana skin, but I'm pleased we got over the hurdle.
Well, the thing that Cotton always says is that when Ronaldo, bloody hell, old school Gav, when Fernandes is having a bad game, he still pops up with the goal and assist, and that's where it was, Cotton.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm with Chris, and I said to you while we were doing the watch along that because someone asked about Man United don't play exciting football, and it's like we just said, how many teams this season have we come across that have done a deep block of 11? Like we need to get to the point where we have a game plan to break that down. We did today, but I'm with Chris. As soon as they scored, I was like, oh God, here we go again. But there was some. Do you know what? Another Dan James had another really good game today, and
he did.
It's crazy. Well, it's not crazy, but like we said during the watch long, he isn't the most technically gifted player you'll ever see come through United, but he's got pace. He'll work for you. He's a willing runner. He's good. He's a good presser. And like what I said at the start of the game, it was nice to see him on the team sheet because I thought that he'd done enough midweek to earn another start, and he did really well. It was really important we got the win today because we have a really bad habit of if any of the teams around us drop points, then so do we. But obviously Liverpool dropped points. Chelsea dropped points, Tottenham dropped points. We needed this win today, and we got it.
Ed, Newcastle need to look over their shoulder now, don't they?
Newcastle don't need to look over their shoulder in terms of help. We might get relegated. That isn't going to happen. Newcastle United do need to start worrying, though, in the sense of next year, we are relegation favourites. They have to be. Absolutely have to be. I'd be very interested to know what you lot think about that.
So I think they do need to look over their shoulder because Fulham are closing the gap. And if we only look, 3 weeks ago, there was a 10-point difference between Fulham and Newcastle. And now there are 3 points, I believe. So this is danger territory for Newcastle. Newcastle don't have any identity. If we're talking about Man United and it's like they don't really know what to do in certain in pressure moments or in situations where they need to sort of like turn the screw, Newcastle don't even have a screwdriver to try and turn a screw with. So they're pretty screwed at the moment.
Do you know what? I actually didn't know it was only 3 points. Yeah, in Fulham's current form and Newcastle's current form, they should be really worried. They should be really, really worried, man.
Dodgy territory. Dodgy territory. Let's talk about Fulham actually, because as I said, like they are the team that are closest to getting out the relegation zone. And Fulham played some nice football. They won 1-0. Ademola Lookman, he scored just after the hour mark. There's a bit of controversy in this game as well. Cotton, what comes to you about the contro?
Was it the handball? I just don't. I don't even know anymore. I genuinely, and that's not me dodging the question. I genuinely don't know we say it every week. I don't know what's a handball anymore. I don't know what isn't a handball anymore. I don't know what's natural. I don't know what's unnatural. I don't know where players are supposed to go. I just don't get it anymore. And the thing is, this is what we'll be talking about again. We're talking about decisions and whether it's right or wrong, rather than any football, really.
It just makes you question.
What the was that?
I'm going to ask that quite a few times. I can feel it.
It does.
I love that.
Sheffield United, we know they're doomed and done. But yeah, Fulham are... It's annoying because Fulham play a really nice, attractive brand of football. And now they've got Josh Madger there as well.
Snake boy.
I love Josh Madger, and the only reason why I knew of Josh Madger, to be honest, was because of Sunderland Till I Die. There you go, Stu. Fulham versus Newcastle last day of the season. If that's not a 6-pointer slash, that's like 100 million game, isn't it? So
that is a massive game. Massive game.
Chris, have Fulham got the minerals to stay up?
I think so. I think the first few games of the season, it looked like it was going to be tough because they've not sorted out anything defensively. Defensively, they're still shaky. I mean, that game between them and Burnley was just a horrific game. Anyway, I don't ever want to talk about it or see that game ever again in my life. But the defending,
I just want to watch your alternative commentary from it again. To be honest, that's what I want to see because that was brilliant.
Listen, I'll repeat a line from that. If that game was going on in my back garden, I'm closing the curtains. I don't want to know. Just don't want to know. But they're better going forward because of the players that they've got in. I mean, Lookman, again, didn't have the greatest start for them because of penalty gate, but he's settled in quite well now. Loftus-Cheek has looked like a really, really good sort of not signing because obviously he's got to go back to Chelsea at some point, you'd imagine, and I don't think they'd have the money to get him anyway. But they seem to have clicked a bit going forward now. They're gelling quite nicely. I think they've got enough about them to outgun the teams like the Sheffield Uniteds of the world and the Burnleys of the world, and I think they will pit Newcastle. I am very worried about Newcastle. Very worried.
Ed, Sheffield United, we know they're going down. I don't think, there is. Well, mathematically, it is possible that they could stay up, but they are they're going down. Let's be real. Chris Wilder.
Yeah.
Should they keep hold of him?
Yes, of course they should keep hold of Chris Wilder. Sheffield United are going to look after him. He's going to bring him straight back. Why are you ordering this?
No,
I feel left out.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, is there a game on? I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's 2-0 Monaco. That's why I was going. But I was trying to do it quietly, as not to interrupt, but it had the complete opposite effect. Carry on.
Chris Wilder, is he going down? Is he going to stay Oh, he's gone. In the meantime, then, Cotton, I'm going to ask you, from a player's perspective, who from Sheffield United could honestly say that they are good enough to stay in the Premier League, player-wise, for next season?
John Fleck, maybe. That's it. That's all I've got.
That's
for
it.
You. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I don't think any of their players. Maybe Ollie Burke. No. Yeah. Maybe Ollie Norwood. I don't know. They haven't got Premier League players. They didn't have that last year. But definitely not McGoldrick. Definitely not McGoldrick.
Do you know? I think McGoldrick could be brilliant for like a Burnley or something like that, because he's essentially just a Scottish Barnes. Exactly the same player for me.
But like Sheffield United, like we've said so many times, their recruitment, they spent nearly 50 million, and what did they get to show for it? Ramsdale, Rhian Brewster, like that is not Premier League quality. The signings were like ridiculous. I just not that they've made their own bed or whatever, but if that's your investment to want to stay in the Premier League, then you've kind of had it coming towards you. If not, for all we know, they might have known that they were going to struggle this year, so they have invested for players, Brewster, for the future, maybe a season in the Championship. But considering they finished like top, what did they finish last year? Top 8
in the end, was it?
Okay,
ninth.
So because I don't think that with that finish last season, I don't think they would have thought they were going to have a bad season as they have this year. So I don't know if that is the case that they're forward planning, but they're in some deep trouble.
West Brom, they're definitely in trouble. They drew 0-0 with Burnley yesterday. This was an acca buster for me. I assumed that Burnley were going to win this game yesterday, and they didn't. I didn't enjoy the game, if I'm honest, but there was a massive talking point, and it makes me personally ask the question:
What the was that?
I don't like seeing denied obvious goal scoring opportunities being given on the halfway line. And if we were going back to the Arsenal game only a couple of weeks ago, where Arsenal versus Arsenal Villa, with the tackle that was, 40 yards from goal, which, Saka had a decent opportunity to run into. I don't think it was a red card, but Arsenal fans were kicking off going, oh, it should have been a red, It wasn't a red card for me. But that was more of a goal scoring opportunity than what happened with the handball here. So if you don't know what happened, West Brom have got a free kick on the edge of the Burnley box. Right. It ends up getting cleared. A ball gets pinged over by Burnley towards Mateo Vidra, and Semi Ajayi puts his arm out. He handballs it. He's on the halfway line. There's a little bit of cover, enough cover, and not necessarily the cover situation. It's more of where Semi Ajayi is standing, and he has got enough time to turn and chase down Matthijs Vidra. The referee has gone over to the monitor, he's come back and said, you know what, that's a red card. That's denying an obviously scored opportunity. Personally, I don't buy it. I don't know about you.
You've just hit the nail on the head with one word that you just said, the referee. Who was the referee, lads?
Oh, yeah. Next game.
Mike Dean, was it? Mike Dean, weren't it?
It was Michael the Dean, yes. And Michael Dean doesn't know what a yellow card is. He just has reds. Red for you, red for everyone. So if it was erring on the side of one way or the other, and this has been my complaint with VAR, I don't think the people in Stockley are helping the situation at all. I just don't think the standard of refereeing is good enough. I really don't. Not when you watch it. We've got the European footy back on now, the Champions League and the Europa League, and you're seeing it in those games. The standard of refereeing and the officiating is miles clear, as far as I'm concerned. You don't
actually realise how much different it is until you're watching. If you're watching, like, for instance, like we heavily invest in the Bundesliga, like between Two at Top and the Football Dugout channel. Make sure you check those guys out as well. We share 50-50 responsibility for coverage of the Bundesliga reviews and things that we do for that. And when you're watching Bundesliga football, excuse me, just seeing what referees do and how they act, how they react, is far superior to what we see here. And I know Cotton is, he spends a lot of time on Serie A football, and it's very rare that I will get a message from Cotton and he says, "Oh, referee's had a stinker here, or he's had a mare, or this, that, and the other." I don't hear it from you. Do you know what I mean? So it's got to be something that's happening here.
Yeah, it's slightly better out there, but look, we've been banging this drum for months, man. It's not even little things anymore. I'm just so sick of the inconsistencies as well. Like, I've said this before, I don't want it to be clinical like NFL where it's yes or no. But like, one referee will give a certain challenge as a yellow card one week, but then because a different referee with a different attitude towards the game is reffing the next one, the same challenge is going unpunished. Or like you said, the Arsenal fans, like one week someone's getting sent off, the next week it's not, and it's upsetting people. And the inconsistency is just it's mind blowing. I mean, I've moaned for the last 2 or 3 weeks as well, and it's such a small thing, but it could change games and it could change seasons. Like, you've got a game with 6 subs, 3 goals, players injured, players rolling around, and that they're adding like 2 minutes of added time on. Like, where's the rest of the game gone? Like, the amount of times, like even the other day, we joked about it, but it actually happened. They added like 4 minutes added on. They didn't start playing until 91-40 while the ball was out for a goal kick or something.
Yeah.
And then they blew.
I blew a bang on 4 minutes.
Like, players don't know whether they're coming or going. Everyone keeps saying VAR is making the game less interesting and it's killing the game. It's not the VAR, it's the people using it and the decisions that officials are making. It's just not good enough.
Let's go to a couple more of today's games, and we'll go to the Emirates, where London boy London raised Raheem Sterling.
Oh God, no!
He's raised in London, and he rose to.
No, it wasn't even. See, yours is better. What you're saying made sense. What Martin Tyler said was, Raheem Sterling there. Of course, he grew up in London, and he really grew up to get on the end of that header. It was just like, oh my God, no, Martin, please, just. I was
oh
done.
my God! Now, I wrote a tweet earlier on today. I wasn't even a tweet. It was a message that I sent via Twitter to the Football Eye on Twitter. Make sure you check those guys out as well. Honestly, it's plug central today, isn't it? He said to me, I really hope that Arsenal do something today. And I said, I beg we do. I could just see KDB and Aguero being fit. Aguero wasn't. But I could just see him terrorising us. And then Arteta being like, we played well. We pressed them. We were exceptional in the last 30 minutes. I thought Arsenal looked all right for about 20 minutes. But they looked all right because City were like, they ain't going to score. Don't worry about it, boys. Just chill out, mate. Just do you. And that's exactly what happened. Man City are just cruising. They're in cruise control.
It's just incredible.
I don't even think they got out of, even when they scored early, I don't think they got out of second gear. And then after the second half, they
literally went first, second, third, fourth, fifth inside 30 seconds. They should have been 1-0 up inside 30 seconds. Raheem Sterling missed an absolute sitter and then made up for it less than a minute later and should have scored his hat-trick on 4 minutes. And after that, it was just like...
But then City, not getting out of gear 2, then City in the second half just went back to gear 1. They were just so... It's weird to see because we're so used to them going for the throat and going for like just how many goals can you score. But they just didn't look that interested today. I don't know whether they've got an eye on the Champions League midweek. I don't know what it was, but they came out second half just looking like they couldn't care less.
I don't think they should worry about the Champions League too much because they've got Mönchengladbach, and we'll be talking about it on Wednesday's show anyway. But Mönchengladbach just got beat at home to Mainz.
Wow, really?
Mainz.
I'll be
I don't know. Like, I think us four, I'll bring my daughter down.
But I'm sorry, we only need one more.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
We'll be able to turn up against Mainz. I'll tell you that. So yeah, I don't think I have to worry too much about trying to get something out of that game. But Ed, where do Arsenal go from here?
Where do Arsenal go from here? I mean, let's be honest. I think this one was surely a write-off on paper. Let's be real. Arsenal have had a catastrophe at the start of the season, and mathematically they can still get to the Champions League. They're not going to, but they could.
But mathematically.
See. But look, just don't focus on Champions League qualification. Don't focus on one set goal. Focus on the evolution of your club. Focus on your team.
I felt a cliche coming then. I was what it was going to.
No cliches, man. It's just start a build. I'm so fed up of people just like starting something and going, sack him. He's gone. I'm done with it now. It's like just build something, man. Arsenal need to start this new change. Stick with Arteta and do something different.
Chris.
I agree on the fact that he was a write-off, and I think it's going to be a write-off for 19 teams. Listen, we've got City soon, and I'm really not expecting much from the game, if I'm being entirely honest, because City have just they've seen everyone's levels this season, and everyone's had dips and everyone's lost points, and it's been a bit of a weird season. But City's just seen everyone's level and gone, all right, okay, that's what you're all capable of. See you later. It could get messy. It could. I mean, they're 10 points clear of us now, as it stands, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could see them beating us. I could see them running. I mean, we're definitely going to drop more points before the end of the season. We're far too inconsistent not to. They could win it by 20 plus. I just don't see what's going to stop him. I was speaking to one of my mates recently, who's a big City fan.
You got mates?
Yeah, I know. That was a shocking thing for me as well.
Let's get into it.
Outside of the podcast, it gets very sketchy. But I was speaking to one of my mates, he's a City fan, and I asked him about the quadruple, and he was a bit coy about it. He was like, Jose in finals, he's probably going to do something with Spurs and this, that, and the rest of it. And I went, it just seems like the same as it was for us in '99, where things were just falling into place. Like for us, we had the comeback against Liverpool in the Cup, the semi-final against Arsenal in the Cup with the save penalty in the last minute and everything mad that went on that game, coming back against Spurs on the last day of the season, getting battered by Bayern in the final without Scholes and Keane, and somehow managing to pull something out of the fire in the last 3 minutes. City, it all seems to be falling into place like that, and I am worried that I think they could be the first team to do the quadruple. They are that good, and they've got that much strength in depth.
Cotton, do you reckon? Yeah. We look at City and we always think like, maybe they could do something, maybe they won't. This, that, and the other. But Cotton, they've played 25 games in the Premier League. They've won 18 games and drawn 5. They've lost 2. But these were all at the beginning of the season. They're on a madness like unbeaten run. 18 straight victories. Not even in all competitions. Not even 18 games undefeated. Wins. It's WWW all the way. Can you see them even dropping a point before a title is wrapped up?
Yeah, I can see them dropping a point or two here or there, but it won't be. It'll be a game they already know it's wrapped up, and it'll just be a stinky, low block game where everyone will just try to defend for their lives. It could even come against one of the bottom three who are scrapping and just literally want to put 11 men behind the ball. But it does make me laugh when you say it just seems it falls into place for City. I completely agree, but that is always aided and helped by every single year. They don't play a Premier League team in the FA Cup till the semis.
It does wind me up that.
every single Champions League. Every time they get out of a group in the Champions League, they get Hoffenheim, they get Schalke, they get the weakest, just real. They lost to Lyon the other year when they shouldn't have done. But even that, they got such a favourable draw. Now I'm not sitting here going it's rigged. But it is so frustrating when every time you see an FA Cup draw, it's like Manchester City will play Cheltenham at home or something, and it's just like, just one time let them play someone good. But yeah, they are. they're on
And we
fire.
get West Ham or Liverpool, and it's just like
or Leicester. Yeah, or Leicester. City at the minute. The scary thing is as well. Like the scary thing is, we've this season has been the season where everyone said about, but we're missing this player and we're missing these players. Mate, City have done this 18-game winning streak, most of it like without De Bruyne. Aguero's barely featured.
Aguero has played
playing
141 Premier League minutes this season.
That's what I mean. They're absolutely slapping people, and they're not even at full strength. Like if they genuinely, I mean, Aguero's getting a bit old in the tooth, but if City buy like go silly and buy a world-class striker next year, it's game over before we even start it, mate. If they get someone proper in, we're done for, because Gabriel Jesus isn't the one. But
no, he's not. He's not. Right then, please, gentlemen in the chat and anyone who's listening, hold your ears. West Ham 2, Tottenham 1. Oh yeah, because last time Spurs won when you're on the show, so we didn't show that. We only show that when they lose.
we're not Arsenal fan. We're not Arsenal fan TV. We only really talk about Tottenham and going in depth with it when they've had a shocker. So
when I had a mare, but I say that I don't think they did have a mare. I thought they played really well today. I really do. West Ham 2, Tottenham 1. Mikel Antonio is back from his little stint out with injury. Scored after just 5 minutes. Messi Lingard, the loanee from Paris Saint-United, just after half time, which went to VAR, Bants. And then Lucas Moura made it a bit hairy, scoring a goal midway through the second half. Still quite a bit of time to play. There was an absolute wonder slap from Gareth Bale, which hit like the corner of the post and bar and went off elsewhere. He hit that so damn sweet. I was willing that to go in because he hit it so clean and nice, but it didn't. So West Ham. Don't worry about it, mate. So West Ham are flying.
You could have won.
Yeah, this is what you could have won. This is god.
West Ham are flying. Rub it in. Do you remember the West Ham podcast you did at the start of the season, Gav?
Oh my God, honestly, I was talking to someone about this the other day, and it was all doom and gloom and all meltdown. I need to get him back on the show.
Honestly, I remember tuning in. I was in the bath, and it was just an hour of crying. Like honestly, because it's just like, please, like.
I can't remember the glory days with John Moncur and
honestly,
now look at them, they're like Cresswell's cooler. To be honest with you,
you're a big fan of Cresswell, though, aren't you, mate?
I love Cresswell.
He loves Cresswell.
Honestly.
He loves Cresswell almost as much as I love Solly March.
No, I love Cresswell.
Promise.
To be fair, but no, West Ham. Look, you're doing bits. David Moyes, you've got something that works. You've got a system. You've got the right players doing the right job. I don't think it's going to last.
That's such a build-up. I was like,
but that's only because history says it doesn't last. I hope West Ham go on, and I hope West Ham push, and I hope West Ham go on to be the West Ham they were promised to be. But I don't think they will. I think there'll be a point when, how many games have we still got to go, lads?
13 for me.
13, okay. So we've got 39 points to play for.
Good maths, well done.
That's why I'm the smartest one here up top.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, I can't see it. I can't see it going on for too much long. Well, I can't stand. I can't stand West Ham. But I can't see it going on for too much longer.
But they should. But.
I honestly don't know how they keep calling out these results as well, because they're not. They haven't even got like a clinical striker that's scoring every game. They've got
a failed right back who came from non-league.
They just keep finding goals.
Well, I was wanting to drop that. I
Really
wanted to drop that because I know Cotton loves it when they always bang on about every time he scores. The lad came from non-league football.
Didn't everyone at some point like?
We used to have that with Smalling. Every single time Smalling had a ball out, it'd be like, "Did you know he came from?" Stop it! Don't say it again. For fuck's sake. You know what? West Ham's amazing. I just can't believe they keep winning games because the first game of the season they got dicked by Newcastle 3-0, and we must have been sat here thinking they are fucked. There's no 100%. Way. And look where they are now.
They've only lost 6 games this season.
It's a great season.
They're having a wonderful time. They are just 4 points shy of Man United and Man City, and Man United and Leicester City. Sorry. They are 2 points clear of Chelsea. Chelsea are on their little run. We'll talk about those in a second. But what do Spurs do now? Spurs are in 9th position. They are 9 points off top 4. What do Spurs do? Where do they go?
It's game over for Jose, I think.
Really?
I'm worried for Tottenham because I said this to Cotton midweek. Tottenham have kind of done like a wish version of Arsenal. Like they've gone for the brand new stadium, but without any prior success. Do you know what I mean? It's like so Harry Kane being the world class, and he is.
He's 100% world class. 100% world
class. But he's at his peak. So you're in an economic climate where no one can afford to buy you, but you are too good for this club. Harry Kane will leave Tottenham. Fact. But I don't think he'll be going abroad. But how does Tottenham need to...
Liverpool?
You know what? Forget Harry Kane. Tottenham need to learn how to win without Harry Kane. Tottenham need to not just become this in-debt club, because Arsenal, like how many years did it take for you to pay off Emirates?
7 years.
7 years. How long do you reckon it'd take without the Champions League?
Still be paying it now.
Exactly that. If Tottenham Hotspur do not get back in the Champions League, they were going to struggle to pay off that football stadium.
So do you think that they should put all their eggs in one basket and be like, right, Europa League, hook or by crook? We don't care about Wolfsburger, AC from Austria. We need to worry about everyone else. So we need to win the Europa League. Yeah, but no, they need to win the Europa League so they can get into the Champions League that way, because I can't see them overhauling the number of teams that are in between them. You know, I'm going to put Aston Villa in there for conversation, because they've got 2 games in hand, and if they win both of those, that will put them into 6th place above Liverpool. So you got Everton, Liverpool, Chelsea, all above them, and West Ham. Can you see Tottenham be able to overhaul all of those clubs and get into the top 4? No. So I can't. No, I can't see it happening.
No one can.
We were talking earlier as well about them. We were talking about goal scorers in the Premier League. And we were talking about Alan Shearer being the top goal scorer, whatever, blah blah blah. He was in the Premier League for 15 years. What a legacy! But then I said to you, like, all those goals, what did it get him? It got him 1 title at Blackburn, and that's it. And Harry Kane doesn't even have that 1 title. If he genuinely wants to be taken seriously and wants to leave a legacy, he needs to get out of that club, man. Because even if they win the League Cup this year, that's still not good enough for someone of Harry Kane's stature. Like he needs to get out and get out fast. He needs to go and win something to be taken seriously, because everyone knows he's good. But again, with the Shearer thing, what does it get you? It gets you a life full of memories, but it doesn't get you any medals or trophies. So. He's got to go.
Yeah. Has to.
Yeah, has to. One player who, who's only recently come into the Premier League, if you want to call it that, and has already picked up a league title, is Jamie Vardy. He wasn't on the score sheet today, but Leicester did win at Villa Park 2-1. And I honestly thought that this game was going to be a slap-in. I thought Leicester were going to batter him. I don't know why. It just felt like the day for it. And this is before I even knew that Jack Grealish wasn't in the starting lineup. But our boy, my Cotton's pal, Bertrand Traore, he bagged again. Funny. It's so crap. James Maddison, he was getting looked at by Gareth Southgate, who was in the stands today. He had a lovely game once again today, and so did Harvey Barnes, and both of those were the goal scorers to make it 2-0 in quick succession just before the halfway point of the first half. Leicester are in third place. They're on 49 points, level with Manchester United, Cotton. Leicester, they showed that last season they didn't have the minerals to have that staying power. Have they learnt from last season?
I think so, yeah. I think Brendan Rodgers, he's such a methodical manager, and he has everyone so well drilled that there's no way he'd have let it happen again. Like they'd have been working on stuff like that, and they just look so good this season. They are just. I'm worried about getting them in like our cup game against them, but I not worried, but Vardy just at the minute just doesn't seem to be cutting it. Again, today I think he had one shot on target all game, and it wasn't even a good one. It was, and he hasn't seen. I know he's been out injured and stuff. But
he had a hernia injury, didn't he? He came back. I think he came back about a week or two sooner than he was expected, but still doesn't look very sharp, does he?
No, if they're winning, they're getting goals from Maddison and Barnes and elsewhere at the minute, rather than Vardy. So I don't know if that's something Leicester need to look at, because obviously he's not getting any younger. But yeah, they're playing some really good football this year as well.
Villa, Chris, they, as I said just a moment ago, if they win both their games in hand, they will jump into sixth place and be 2 points ahead of Liverpool as it sort of stands at the moment. Villa, we've given them a lot of credit this season, but they've almost lost as many games as they've won. So is the credit worthy?
I think we had a strange start to the season, and I think Villa were one of the teams that took advantage of that. And I think they've been as good as they're going to be. And I said this to lads on our podcast last week. We were saying about, do Villa have what it takes to pull themselves back into that argument for European contention? My answer is no. I think they're not done like they're going to go sort of falling off a cliff, but it'll be a comfortable mid-table finish for them, which if you would have said to a Villa fan at the end of last season, right, you survived, next season you're going to push on, you get comfortable mid-table, you bite your hand off for that. That's a good season for Villa. And with Grealish out now, for however long he's going to be out for, the form that they're seeing from, the likes of Barkley, who's just not... He started really well for Villa. I'm really disappointed with Barkley, really disappointed. He should... I thought he was going to kick on and have a brilliant season, and it's just not happened. And I don't know what's happening with him there. I don't know if you have got any thoughts on it, but he could have been the key. If he was playing well, they wouldn't be feeling the loss of Grealish, or they wouldn't feel the loss of Grealish like they're going to feel over the next few weeks. But yeah, he just doesn't seem to be having any impact at all.
What are your thoughts on Barkley, Ed?
On Barkley? I think Barkley's he's like another Henderson, not in terms of the type of player, but in terms of the fact that he does well next to Jack Grealish because he's an engine. He works, he suits that Aston Villa team. I don't think he was ever the level of Chelsea. I thought at Everton he was probably about that level. Yeah, they probably will struggle now they've lost Grealish. But Aston Villa have done brilliant this year so far, haven't they? Considering where they was the year before.
They've kept 12 clean sheets this season. 12.
Yeah, okay.
But if you say that, they kept 12 clean sheets, that's great. But then of their other 11 games, they have conceded 26 goals.
But there's no shame in losing. There's no shame in losing.
Lost 9 of the 12.
Yeah, there's no shame in losing this one to Leicester.
No, but it's just a bit concerning. I would have thought.
I wouldn't have thought so. Aston Villa was near relegation last year. They survived by the skin of their teeth. And now look at them. Like if anyone's sitting there scratching their head, going, "God, Aston Villa have bottled it." Bottled it? What? What are you talking about? This is the same team. And Barkley.
If we're going to be really technical about the way that we say they survived, they actually survived by the flick of a button because someone didn't turn the Hawkeye on. And if they would have turned the Hawkeye on, Villa would be in the Championship right now.
Is he lying? I don't think he is. All right. Okay. So one team that came up from the Championship last year was Leeds United. They lost 1-0, but they're such a joy to watch.
Breath of fresh air, FC.
I actually feel really sorry for Melier. I thought he had a really good game, and the goal has been credited to his name with an OG. It was Traore shot, was it? Was it?
Yeah, for about 30 yards.
I'm Traore shot. I'm Traore. It's hit the bar and post, doesn't it? And sort of like bounced off the back of Melier's head and going into the back of the net. I haven't really got much to say about this game.
I was about to say that's the only thing that happened. It's literally the only thing that happened in the game.
Oh, and the
Literally
VAR.
the only thing.
No, do you know, Leeds aren't all that.
How dare you say that? You know, we're technically in the media as well, and we have to suck Leeds' dick.
Yeah.
Shit. No. To be
Say
fair,
something nice.
No, Leeds did try pepper him. Like, I didn't have a problem with Leeds' effort, but after watching Leeds against Arsenal, I thought, yeah, Wolves have got this. Like they attack as one man. I say it every week, and it's like, well, what do you expect me to say? Because they keep on doing it. Like, I mean, it was a freak goal. I know it was a Traore rebound off the goalkeeper, off someone's shin, off someone's eyelash. No keeper's gonna say that. It was very unlucky. But Leeds, man, chill out, bro. When you attack, you'd have to bring the fans with you. Do you know what I mean?
Oh dear. We'll move on for this game. The game's crap. Southampton won, Chelsea won. This is our last game that we're going to be talking about today. Southampton, they took the lead. Against Chelsea with a Liverpool loanee in Minamino. I'm really enjoying Minamino at the moment, and the nation's darling Mason Mount, who took the penalty, which I'm really pissed off about, if I'm honest about, because I was expecting Timo Werner to take the penalty.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
That the Minamino
we all invested.
The Minamino goal is such Thursday night down goals. Like, he set the keeper down on the floor, and then it's like tidy little finish. Speaking about Mason Mount scoring that penalty, though, genuinely, and I'm not even just saying it, I know it's only been one season, mate. Timo Werner is done in the Prem. He's done in the Prem. Whether it's too fast for him, whether it's too physical for him, I don't know what he's got going on, but his performances in games, and it's not just because he's not scoring, mate. He can't even get on the ball. His first touch is hideous. He just looks lost all the time, and it's now got to the point. There was 3 or 4 times in this game that he could have been. Someone could have threaded a ball through to him, and they're just not passing to him anymore. I genuinely think that they're at the point now where they're like, well, he's just going to lose it or take a heavy touch, so they're just not playing him in. But he's shot, man. He is. I don't know what the solution is, because they've tried just sticking with him. They've tried playing him in cup games against lesser opposition, and he's still.
They tried to play him through the middle. They tried to play him out wide. They tried to play 2 up top. To accommodate him, and but it's not worked, has it? None of it's working. It's annoying because we've seen what he can do. But last season, he scored a hatload of goals in the Bundesliga. He was only second to Lewandowski. But in that period, he did go 9 games without scoring.
Yeah.
And he still bagged over 20 goals in a 34-game season. So if you can, I think he scored 25, 26 in the league in the end. Yeah, but it still went 9 games without scoring. I know he's going on a bit of a run at the moment. So he's a very confidence-led striker.
Bas Dost went about 10 games without scoring a goal, and then still scored like 19 goals, because all he does is score 3, 4, 5 in one game, and then you never see him again. But
I love Bas Dost, man. He's found his level now. He's playing in Belgium. He's found his level. I can't stand that prick.
Werner, man, he's going to have to really hope that they're going to be patient with him, because it's not going to fix itself anytime soon.
Chelsea are outside of the Champions League positions, but they are only 2 points off West Ham. So if you replace Chelsea with West Ham, Chris, have we got our top four for the end of the season?
That's the golden question, isn't it? Because the top of the table's pretty much looking wrapped up, and the bottom of the table looks like it's set in stone. But the European places are the ones that have just been up for grabs all season from like 9 or 10 different teams. And I think Chelsea, I came on here not long ago and I said that I fancy Chelsea to stage a bit of a renaissance at the end of the season and have enough about them to get into the top four. With Tuchel in now, I believe that even more. I'm even more confident. I think Tuchel's a better man. Let's call a spade a spade. Tuchel's a better manager than Frank Lampard. He just is. Yeah. Whether it's down to experience or quality of sky, I don't know. But he's just a better manager. He's come in and he steadied the ship straight away. They were leaking goals at the back. They look toothless going forward. They're not looking brilliant now, but they look far better than they did when, Frank was on his last legs. They've got enough quality in that squad to overtake West Ham.
You mentioned about here already.
Go on.
No, finish off what you're saying.
No, I was just going to say. We mentioned as well about West Ham maybe tailing off. I think West Ham are going to tail off enough to allow Chelsea to capitalise. I think they're going to get enough points to do it.
Fair. No, I agree with that bit. You said about the manager, better manager. Now, a situation did happen in this game, and I did put a tweet out with a poll on it. I would like to know everyone's thoughts on it, because Callum Hudson-Odoi came off the bench at half time and was subbed off not long after being on the pitch. Yeah, and it wasn't an injury. It wasn't an injury that did it. And Thomas Tuchel came out in the press and basically said his attitude was wrong and he wasn't prepared to listen to what I've got to say. That is the long and short of it. So do you think, A, he was right to sub him off? And B, do you think he was right to out him in public?
100% for both of them. The whole point of bringing someone on, well, if you're starting them or bringing them off the bench, you want them in a specific position, in a specific game plan. And if he needs you to be tracking back, the whole system falls apart if you're not defending, because then there'll be overlaps and there'll be. So if you don't want to do what your manager's telling you to do, don't play. And it's that simple. To be fair, with him coming out and explaining, he doesn't need to. He's the manager. If he wants to make the decisions of taking players on and off, it's up to him, man. But I think every now and then players do need reminding that, it's not star power and you can't dictate what you want to do, and we're not bowing down to you. If we've got a problem, we're gonna tell people the way it is. And I think I don't know how many people didn't like that he came out and said it. I think there's quite a lot of people that rated the fact that he came out and said it. I certainly did, but yeah, I think he's right on both counts.
Ed, can you imagine if that was Jose Mourinho who had that conversation and then outed Callum Hudson-Odoi? What the outrage would be? I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
They'd be saying you're destroying this young player's confidence, the mentality. But it's true. But maybe Thomas Tuchel's trying to teach this young man a lesson. Maybe Thomas Tuchel's trying to enforce his philosophy, or he's kind of, I'm not going to take any of this. I think maybe he's doing a bit of a showing to his players, potentially. I agree with what he's done. I agree with the decision. I don't agree with speaking to the media about why you took him off. I think you could just go, well, I'm the manager and you damn business, and speak to the player in private. But Callum Hudson-Odoi needs that. If you want to play for Chelsea, and I'm not being funny, if you want to play for Chelsea, if you're getting subbed as a sub, you got issues, bro.
What do you reckon? I'm going to come back and do all the comments at the end. I don't know who put that comment up, so I'll come back and do all the comments at the end. Chris, do you think he was right to have that conversation?
I think people like to look at things in either black or white, and sometimes it's grey. And I think you can sit in both camps with it. I think it shows strong management on Tuchel's side. I think it shows that exactly what you boys have said. If you're not pulling your weight, I don't care if you've come on as a sub or whether you've been on since the first minute, you're coming off. And that's that, because it's not about you. It's about the team and the performance and the result. But I think there will be people on the other side who think there's better ways to go about it in terms of outing players publicly. But we don't know. We don't know Hudson-Odoi. I mean, Hudson-Odoi is a talented player, and it might be that he reacts really, really well to being outed like that. You just don't know. And someone who does know better than us, Thomas Tuchel, and he's not been in there long. And I think the difference between him and Jose is Jose's been in charge of Spurs for 75 games now, and he seems to be displaying a similar pattern that he displayed at United, and it's not a healthy
and
one.
Chelsea twice, and at Real Madrid. And
exactly,
it goes on and goes on. That brings us to the end of the Premier League review show. Don't forget, you can subscribe to us on all social. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I've done the Merseyside derby. Forgot. I did not forget.
Gav, I asked you at the start of the show, did you figure out what the odd thing out was between us? Me and Chris had our football team win a game this weekend. Was the odd thing out?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was like one person, not the other sort of thing. So yeah,
no,
that's fair enough.
All right, let's get this over with. Come on.
What's Everton?
Everton are Merseyside Derby champions 2021.
Yes, they won the trophy for this. It's the first time they've won this trophy since 1999.
Big Kevin Campbell.
One of the
3
many
minutes
records.
in. Richarlison! Golazo. So yeah, and it was nice. To be fair, Liverpool didn't play that badly. Everton were just everywhere. They wanted it more. They wanted everything more. Their second goal came from the spot, and that was a Calvert-Lewin opportunity that was fed onto him by Richarlison, I think it was. And then Calvert-Lewin threw in on goals. Had a shot. It's not doing this, it's not a bad effort. He should have scored it, if I'm honest. And then there is a situation between him and Trent Alexander-Arnold. The referee has pointed to the spot initially, has gone to VAR. He literally looks at it for no longer than 3 seconds and sticks to his on-field decision, which for me, I loved. Because normally when they go over to the monitor, it's like, oh, no, I'm going to change my mind now. No, he went over, he had a look. He didn't even have a look at the second angle. It's like, no, I'm giving that. And it was beautifully dispatched by Gylfi Sigurdsson. Let's be real. Do you think it should have been a penalty, Cotton?
When I saw it in full speed, it was clear that he kicked out at him, and it's clear that he tried to stop him going past him. When I saw the replay, right, where's Trent supposed to go? Like, Calvert-Lewin has ran into the back of his head. As he's going over the top of him, yeah, Trent sticks his leg out and clips him, but what was Trent supposed to do? Calvert-Lewin's run into him. Do you know what? It's one of those. It's that this is again sitting on the fence, but you'd be so annoyed if that wasn't given for you. But if it was given against you, I could see why you'd feel aggrieved. Like, he's run into the back of his head, man. What's he supposed to do?
Definitely he's Arsenal Wolves. Okay, now it's true though. It's so true. Christoph, what do you reckon?
I ain't gonna sit on the fence. I think it was a penalty. I think it was 100% a penalty.
He literally got dick out there.
It's one of them. Trent, I think he's panicked. It's high stakes. 10 minutes left in a big game. Liverpool aren't having a great season. I think he's just panicked in the moment. He's just thought, shit, there's a loose ball. Don't know where it's going to go. DCL's there, bleeding one of the most informed strikers in the Premier League this season. I've got to do something. He's flailed a leg out. He's clipped him. Is Calvert-Lewin made the most of it? Probably. But in the Premier League this season, especially this season, what we're seeing, especially with VAR as well, and like you said, overturning decisions because players know they can do it and get away with it, it's penalty. It's just as simple as that for me.
Ed?
Penalty. But I think it was a penalty. I agree that it wasn't intentional. But it's like with handballs. Intent doesn't mean anything. Intent's not in the law. I couldn't care less about intent, really. Trent was reckless to be doing it. It's not why Liverpool lost, though. The second goal, which confirmed it, is not why Liverpool
go on.
lost.
Yeah, the second goal confirmed it. I just wanted to throw my 2 quid's worth in about the penalty, and then we'll come back to you, Ed, because obviously you're the resident Liverpool fan, and we can do a bit of an inquest on Liverpool Football Club as a whole. But
a lot of demo there.
I was going to say, if you're going to the side, I'm going to put my hat to the side.
I know. I stood to the side, look like some 90s bully.
My headphones won't stay on properly if I do it.
And do you know what? Wearing this jacket as well, I literally look like I'm going to get some wood down on the floor and start breakdancing. Like,
do it then. Why not? That's for Top Extra, which is shown on Monday nights at 11 o'clock.
Kieran Dyer will host with us.
But, I can't be doing this hat thing, lads, by the way. My nose is absolutely massive, so I've got shade here and shade at the back here. There's a perfect dispersion of light. If I go sideways, it's going to throw the sink of the room out.
Well, I'd have to turn it back because if I do it sideways, my headphones don't sit on. I think it's a penalty. And I also think it's a red card. And it's not because I don't think there's any malice in it. I don't think there is. Do I think the penalty is harsh? 1,000,000% I think it's harsh. But that is denied an obvious goal scoring opportunity. And that's why the penalty was given. So if you're given a penalty, you have to give a red card. Because if not, why have you given a penalty?
Yeah,
but you would. Okay, this isn't disagreeing with it, but you would like to see them give the penalty with no retrospective action afterwards. You would like to see that, though. Yeah. What happened is what you would like to see.
Yeah, and I'll just go. It's wording of law, and there's no deviation in regards to that. He is denied an obvious goal scoring opportunity. Therefore, you give a penalty and a red card.
Yeah.
But do I think it's a penalty? No. But is it a penalty? Yes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's well weird, isn't it? But yeah, that's me. But
it's the same with David Luiz and Bednarek.
This both situations. Do I think it's a pen? Oh God, no. Do I have to give a penalty? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I have to give a red card? Then yes, I have to give a red card because of what's happened. But it's bloody harsh, isn't it?
Yeah.
But because it's harsh doesn't mean I don't need to give it. So. But Ed, Liverpool, man, it's not going right. This is arguably one of the worst defenses of a Premier League from any champion. We will always talk about injury. You lost Jordan Henderson, who is key. You need him back in the middle of the park. This is what the issue is, as far as I'm concerned. Him not being in the middle of the park, barking or controlling play. He is the controller of Liverpool Football Club, and he's not there. How good did Liverpool look every time he crept forward into a midfield position, getting a couple of shots off, getting passes around? I was like, oh, this is Liverpool.
Here's the thing, I'm still relatively calm about the whole situation. Like, I understand where we're at, and I understand the situation we find ourselves in, the possible dangers around us. Like, we very easily could not get top 4. We could very easily not even get Europa League football. We could end up in that bloody conference thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, we could end up in that. But That's not
How
the
big would
problem.
that be for the competition, though? A big name like Liverpool being in the conference.
Yeah, of course. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, no. Don't answer that
No, but
question.
I hear a lot of the people bringing up the title defenses. It's like I couldn't care less about like where this ranks in title defense. I couldn't care less. Do you know what I mean? Like it's hard to retain a title, clearly, but I don't think the reason we're down in whatever position we may be in is because we're retaining a title. That's not the reason we're playing so poorly. It's not because the pressure's got to us. That's not we aren't the same team. We are the injuries, which is well documented, which we spoke about on this podcast plenty of times. Our defense has been hit, and it has took away from our midfield to fill the void. And our midfield, and I said this to Cotton, it's like, well, we've still got 3 good midfielders. If you look at the thing, I've got Wijnaldum, I've got Thiago, I've got Slade Chamberlain, now I've got Shaqiri. They're all attacking midfielders. Like you've got 4 attack. Like I've got Shaqiri who won. I've got 4 attacking midfielders. If you get past that, I've got no one. Like absolutely
I've got a couple of midfielders.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Liverpool have no spine, they have no core. So Liverpool attack from the back. So it's a nightmare until we get if Liverpool don't get top 4 this year, and they have to, they will struggle. Because
They can
Liverpool
get top 4. That's the worst thing about it.
No, we're only 3 points off. We're 3 points off, which is
it's 5. It's 5 now because of the because of like West Ham and all that sort of stuff. But
5 now.
We're talking like this is like mad crisis, this, that, and the other. But it's 5 points, and the team that you got to chase is West Ham.
Yeah, exactly.
There's 13 games to go.
But let's say we got 4th position. We've still got that squad that won a Champions League and a Premier League title, and had all that success. It's not like we've just earned enough to break into the top 4. We're already at that level. We just need to get all our players back and add on to that. We need to stop being so naive, and we need to attack next season. Granted, every club's been in the same boat: injuries, COVID, financial crisis. We've all been there. Liverpool have took a chance this year and it is backfired. This year's been a mix of both bad form mentally. It's been both bad form and injuries this year for us. It has been. We've been naive this year, but I think we'll bounce back.
Cotton, if it wasn't windy, do you think Liverpool would have won that game?
Oh, fuck off.
No, honestly, Ed, right, all banter aside, all banter aside, Sky Sports were doing their fucking hardest to get that over early. Before kickoff, they were like, "Oh, it's windy out there." Every other word that was coming out of Martin Tyler's mouth was, "Well, the conditions, Liverpool, it must be tough for Liverpool playing in these conditions." Where were Everton playing? Were they playing in a fucking vacuum? Were they not playing in the same wind? But honestly, they just kept drilling home. It's windy. It's pretty windy. Oh, the ball's going to hang up there for Liverpool when they play that because it's windy. And it was just like, God, jeez.
Yeah.
You sound like Klopp already making the excuses. Like, jeez.
I turned it off and just listened to We Are 4-1-T, and they were talking about what was it Australia's version of
Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight. Yeah, Married at First Sight. That was way more entertaining than listening to those guys on the telly. And I waded in with a few bits and bobs, and then Claire started wading in. She was like, "Oh yeah. What's the name of that show again? I need to watch that show." So she's got a link. She just walked in. She picked up the card, which means that Amazon's about to get absolutely hammered right now. No. Interesting. But
season 6. Make sure it's season 6, guys. That's important.
Season 6, babe. Season 6. What are we going to talk? We'll wrap up with Everton before we go. And this is meant to be a monumental season for Everton. They're having such a wonderful time. But as it stands, they're still behind Liverpool on goal difference, mind. And they do have a game in hand, but. What are Everton?
I think Everton are a top 6 side this season. I think Everton will do Europa League easy, and I think compared to last season, I mean, they ended. I remember watching them against Wolves, and they got absolutely dicked, and it wasn't even close. And I really worried, and I thought, is Carlo going to want to stick around and try and do something with this team, because it's not looking great. Brought James in, brought Alan in, brought Decore in, and I don't even think it's so much like the signings. Like it just seems to be a real good sort of harmony and work ethic amongst that squad now. That was a shift last night. It wasn't Everton, a wonderful attacking team. They just outgunned Liverpool or anything like that. You said it perfectly before, Gav. They just outworked. It was just a hustle, and every single one of them just wanted it more. It was just that's how important it was to them, and that's what got them over the line. And it was easy in the end.
Yeah, I mean, me and Cotton take the mick out of Tom Davies, and Tom Davies, he was everywhere.
Yeah. He was unbelievable.
Yeah, where can he go? Where can he go? I mean, we've got a load of comments and that have. We just want to run through a few of those as well. And one of them is directed to you, Ed, and it's a question from Josh Murphy, who's watching via YouTube. He says, if Liverpool don't make top four, will they be able to keep their former Premier League and Champions League winning squad? Will Salah stay? Will Mane stay? Etc. Etc.
It's really hard to predict that. I know that Liverpool had signings in place prior to this season, and I think they have signings in place for next season, but I think that changes if you don't get top four. I think they all changes. I think the reason we've spent half a cent on a centre back on loan, and then ask someone's cousin to play for us, is because we don't have the money. It's because we have the money, but we're using it. I genuinely think if Liverpool don't get top four, they've missed a massive opportunity.
Massively. Back on, he's also got another question about the Chelsea situation, because we spoke about Tuchel and Callum Hudson-Odoi. The manager must command respect. Let's remember the Sarri and Kepa moment, and it's coming around to that sort of time as well, isn't it? Where that all went down a couple of years ago in the League Cup. That was the League Cup final, was it? It was the final, wasn't it?
Yeah,
coming
final.
off. No, I'm not coming off. I'll do what I want.
What a glorious moment that was in football.
Yeah,
that'll go down in the annals of history. That.
I mean, I love Caballero and stuff anyway. Sentiment is said Antonio has more Premier League goals than Lacazette this season. Surely not of all time. I'll have to double check that. I really will have to double check that. What's now I'm panicking. There's another comment that I wanted to. Oh yes, when when we were talking about Sheffield United and players that could hang around, there was Brewster that was knocked around, Lundstrom, Egan, Basham. What's happened to Sander Berge? Sander Berge, I think he's hasn't he got a knee injury?
You reeled off some names there that are literally why Sheffield United are in the position they're in. Like they are, those players aren't. Who's going to want them players unless someone's looking for a bit of squad depth for some bench warming? The players you've just named are not good enough to be in the Premier League. End of. So
we spoke about.
Give Bruce some respect.
Bruce is dead in
yet,
these streets at the moment. Is Solanke Mark 2, in my opinion. Penalties for handball shouldn't be given anymore unless you stop a certain goal. It's too subjective. I sort of see that. I mean, if you remember the one, do you remember the one for Spurs against Newcastle earlier on this season where it's come off? Was it this season or end of last season? Actually,
was it when it came off the back of
Dyer? Yeah, it was this.
Dyer.
He had no idea whatsoever,
and
he's headed it into his arm.
Okay.
I know, but then it's what I mean. They keep changing it around. They're mixing it up constantly. We don't know what's happening, like whether we're coming to or where we're going from. It's ridiculous. Adam is watching via Twitch. He said, I don't even see them conceding more than 5 goals in the Prem, and that's Man City. Man City, after 25 games, they've conceded 15 goals. Just 15 goals in the Premier League this season. It's ridiculous. 14 clean sheets they've kept. They've conceded those 15 goals across 11 games.
Well, Adam said that they won't concede another 5 until the rest of the season. Now, let me tell you, the derby is right near my birthday. I think it's the 20th. I think something like that. I don't know. But when we score 5 in that game, he will look silly when we beat City 6-0. That's all I'm saying. So
Why is 6-0 the default, by the way? Because I said that Arsenal were going to beat Man City 6-0. I just said 6. I should have just said 2-1. It would have sounded a bit more legit, but I'll go on with 6-0. Stu Mitchell went with a 6-0 win for you lot against Newcastle today. You want to see a 6-0 against Man City. It's all madness. It's all madness stuff, isn't it? All mad. But
can't have 9 every week.
Well, you can't have 9 every week. You know what? That is a very fair point. That is a very fair point. I'm down for, Arsenal lost this weekend. Liverpool lost this weekend. So we don't really care about anything else that happened. Jokes. No, congratulations to Man United on their victory against Newcastle. Thank you for everyone. There's people that have hung around with us from the beginning of the watch along all the way through into the review. So not just those, but massive thank you to all those guys. And the guys that have joined us for the review, that's been brilliant as well. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much for all your comments, all your messages via all our social media platforms. You can find us on all social media platforms at Top Football, at we are 4M1T. You can find us all on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Periscope, etc., etc. And did you know, if you put we are 4M1T and or two up top into Google, our names come up first.
Buy my book.
Southgate out.
Southgate out. From myself, Gav Mack, Stephen Cotton, Ed Hall, and our wonderful, wonderful guest and friend in podcast life, Chris Collins, Mr. Thermos himself from we are 4M1T. Thank you, everybody, and guten Abend.
Southgate out.
Southgate out.
Southgate out.
Klopp out.
No.